Hi everyone, welcome to Marketing Monday on a Tuesday. As many of us may know, here in the US, yesterday was Memorial Day, honoring those who served our country and have fallen, or those who just served our country as well. Of course, we salute all soldiers. But anyway, we did have a long weekend. Originally, I had intended not to take yesterday off and just work through it, or at least have our Marketing Monday happen same time, same place. We ended up actually being outside of a good Wi-Fi range around 2 yesterday, so I made the decision that rescheduling it for today wouldn't hurt anyone, and besides, today feels like a Monday, right? For those of us who do work in the office or did have yesterday off, today is basically Monday. Anyway, those of you who do not know who I am Helene Kwong, CEO and founder of #Itude, a digital marketing agency in Denver. We help our clients grow their communities online authentically and sustainably, and of course help them generate sales that way as well, because community is important for a business to thrive, not only through money, of course, but also just through the community aspect, giving back to the community, etc. This week's theme is about net neutrality, and today's Facebook Live is more introducing the topic versus going too in-depth in it. Tomorrow, which is actually Wednesday already, we will have a more in-depth blog post on our website, www.#itude.com, where you can learn more about net neutrality and why it's important. So let's just start off with the basic. What is net neutrality? Maybe you've heard this term thrown around recently, or maybe in the last 6 months or so, but net neutrality essentially prevents internet providers such as Verizon, Comcast, here in Colorado, CenturyLink as well, but it prevents these providers from dictating the kinds of content you're able to access online. Instead, internet providers have to treat all traffic sources equally. Essentially it means like your internet service provider cannot block you from being able to stream shows from certain websites, or check out the latest blog post from your favorite blogger or favorite blog even. So basically all traffic is created equal. There's no this content is better than that content and gets faster treatment, etc. So what's been done to protect net neutrality as of up until recently, I should say. So the FCC has, or did have, I'm not really sure if it's still current or not, 3 rules to protect neutral access for internet users, or they refer to as the open internet rules. First rule is about blocking. So broadband providers may not block access to lawful content, applications, services, or non-harmful devices. The third one is about throttling. Providers may not deliberately target some lawful internet traffic to be delivered to users more slowly than other traffic. And the third rule was about paid prioritization. Broadband providers may not favor some internet traffic in exchange for consideration of any kind. In other words, no fast lanes. Internet service providers are also banned from prioritizing content and services of their affiliates. So essentially all these rules mean that your internet service provider cannot say because they own a certain affiliate, they can't serve that content to you faster and then slow down other content. You'll learn more about some examples in tomorrow's blog post. So the FCC's open internet rules protect your ability to go where you want, when you want online. Broadband service providers cannot block or deliberately slow speeds for internet services or apps, create special fast lanes for content, or engage in other practices that harm internet openness. The FCC did vote in 2015, so about 2 years ago, to reclassify internet service providers as common carriers under Title II of the Telecommunications Act, basically treating the internet as a public utility. Of course, why is this topic so hot? Why are we talking about it so much in the news recently? It's because it is in danger of being repealed. The new administration here in the US has different views on net neutrality, and it's been made apparent by the appointment of Ajit Pai, a staunch opponent of net neutrality, to head the FCC. And I guess a little spoiler alert for tomorrow's blog post. The new head of the FCC was a former attorney for Verizon. Anyway, this month, as in May, the FCC voted to roll back these Obama era regulations. So why net neutrality? Why does it need protection? Of course, internet service providers do not like the idea of net neutrality. They feel like they should be able to pick and choose what people see online and charge content providers accordingly. And they feel that net neutrality, hinders their revenue potential. That's what has been reported in the Business Insider and other media. Of course, I'll let you decide what that means for you. Of course, if you're on the side of stopping them from repealing net neutrality, there's not much an ordinary citizen can do outside of having our voices heard. Leaving comments and opinions on the proposal, which you'll be able to get the link to that in tomorrow's blog post, or you could Google it right now if you're curious. Get active with your activism. Massive activism has worked on in the past with such legislation measures such as PIPA, I think that's what it's called, and SOPA. And there was a lot of outrage over these two that constituents talked, they spoke, their congresspeople listened, and those were stopped from coming into play in our country. So in tomorrow's blog post, you'll learn more about how net neutrality affects businesses, marketers, and internet users. We'll also discuss why this is happening and what can we do as internet users do to stop it. So thanks for tuning in today. I know it's out of the usual schedule, but hopefully everyone had a good long weekend, especially if you were able to have yesterday off. And a few announcements for today. A few announcements for today. Tomorrow is our Marketing Success Happy Hour, our inaugural happy hour. I'm not quite sure actually if we're gonna continue with it next month, but we'll see. So if you're interested in attending, drop a comment below. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, if you're interested in attending, just leave a comment below and I'll get in touch with you about details. It's tomorrow in downtown Denver here at ModWorks on the 14th floor from 5 to 7. Drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, will be provided, and we'll have Thai food for dinner. Also, next Friday, it's coming up so soon, hopefully you can't hear the sirens, but next Friday morning is our next Caffeine and Conversation. So be sure to RSVP. I'll drop the link below for the Facebook event, and you can RSVP. It's just good for us to know how many people will be attending Caffeine and Conversation, so we know that we have enough coffee and tea provided. So thanks for tuning in. Happy Tuesday, although it feels like a Monday, and hopefully everyone will have a great week, and I'll see you again next week.